Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here. Alright, so today I will be taking you guys back into Arena. Currently right now my rank is 66, and I've been putting together a few different monolite teams. This is a pretty fun one. It seems to have like pretty decent success rate, although like the way that King Bradley can kind of just like lap people in speed is pretty freaking insane. And honestly, I've even noticed it from Bradley's where like I would go back and check their speed stat, and it's actually not any faster than my own cares. So kind of a interesting thing, but that being said, we still have to deal with it. So this is a team I put together today, which is basically utilizing like a classic kind of comp where we have a tank, a healer, and a DPS bruiser. So back when I originally pulled Sylvie, I was really thinking that like a really strong light bruiser would complement her really well, and Wing Sterne does that. The interesting thing is that trying to like figure out how to run Sylvie, like do you run her White Mage or do you run her Bladesoul as the sub job is pretty tricky. So currently I have her on Bladesoul, so we're going to go through the battles today. I might switch her over to White Mage depending on how we're doing, but yeah, that being said, let's get into their specs really quick and then we'll get into some battles. Alright, so here we have Sterne, Wing of Destiny at level 140. He is reincarnated 24 times. His HP is 11.2k, agility 109, dexterity close to 450, luck almost 400. He's got close to 1600 attack, 31 defense, 7 spirit. Back-end resistances looking really good. He's got 45 slash, 22 pierce, 10 missile, 22 magic, and neutral to strike, along with all green resistances in the elemental resistances below. I am running him the Brigandine +6 in the shield type, which I think is very, very good for him. Along with that, I'm running him the Wrath's Eye patch with HP and agility stones. So he's going to be pretty quick once he gets off his haste. In this formation, since I'm not actually trying to get off his shield, I actually prefer him on Valiant Wing as a sub job because of this move right here. Deals damage medium to targets within range and lowers CT. So that lower CT can really help when it does go off, although I do think that Paladin is better if you can get off that third buff. So it really just depends on the map and how you're running the characters. Alright, so there was Sterne. Let's go into Sylvie here. She's sitting at level 120. She has close to 9k HP, 115 agility, about 460 dexterity, close to 400 luck, close to 1600 magic, 37 defense, 29 spirit. Her back-end attack type resistances are 12 slash, 15 pierce, 20 missile, 47 magic, negative 10 to strike, and her elemental resistances are not the greatest, all neutral with a negative 10 to dark. Going into her TMR here, I am running the Black Rose headdress for the barrier ability. It is with luck and agility stones right now with max passives, and I am running her the Bladesoul sub job. So she is going to be looking pretty good. Plus I have the Jaden card on her, so that's going to give her area attack resist 20 for the whole party actually. And then I wish I could put the Bahamut card in a main slot for that unit attack resist. But actually I think I could. If I put it on Warrior of Light, this might actually work better. This way we get that single target resistance. Then I can still put this card on Sylvie. We're going to be a little bit slower, so Sterne lost 2 agility, she lost 3, and Warrior of Light's just slow in general, he lost 3. Alright, but we're going to give that a try. I think that extra 20 unit single target resistance will be worth it. Alright, so going into Warrior of Light, he's sitting at 15k HP, 94 agility, 435 dexterity, 400 luck, about 880 HP, 80 defense, 29 spirit, so really tanky. He's got 60% slash resist, 5 strike, 15 missiles, 64 magic, but a whopping negative 20 to pierce, and his elemental resistances are not the greatest, but he is looking very, very tanky. He has been reincarnated 17 times. Alright, so that being said, that is the build for today. Going into Warrior of Light's TMR, I am running him Spirit and Agility with the buff off, and I do have Brave Presence on. He's over there in the corner, so I'm hoping to kind of draw him away, but we're just going to have to see how it goes. Alright, so here is a team against a Rurugia, a Bradley, and a Queen Macherie. I'm interested because Queen Macherie is running the re-raise TMR here from Zombie.id. I'm not sure why you would put that on Queen Macherie, considering she has a better re-raise naturally in her kit, and they're not going to stack. So unless it has like agility or something, which I'm not sure if it does, I'm not sure why you would run that. Okay, so Sylvie's going to run off to the side. She's going to do that defense spirit buff on Stern right here. And we're going to have Warrior of Light using Brave Presence. Okay, Rurugia is coming forward. We're going to get that re-raise off on Sylvie. And Stern is going to get that haste, which is what we like to see. Rurugia is going to get the first blood right here. Ooh, but we are going to get the lucky reflex. Warrior of Light is going to barrier. He's going to run forward. Sylvie's going to use her barrier back there in the corner. And Wing Sterne is running forward. Okay, so he's going to use his limit break right there. We are going to take a hit right here from Rurugia. Hopefully Sylvie's in range. She is. She's going to get off the limit break. So we're looking pretty good right here. Okay, Rurugia is going to go down. Warrior of Light is going to run forward. He's going to use his limit break, get off the protecting the shell. But we definitely need to... Okay, there's frickin' Bradley and his frickin'... He's so gnarly with that, like, lapping CT up stuff. It's so hard to take him on because he's so strong. Okay, so here comes Queen Macherie. Sylvie's going to run forward. She's going to take down her right before she gets off the hit, and Warrior of Light is going to take down Bradley. All right, so that was a pretty good one right there. Not going to lie, it was a little scary there at the end. Like when Bradley starts to get that CT up, and he starts to just keep getting turns, like he can get up to like 3 turns in a row, and then it's like, how do you even survive that? It's so insane. He literally can just eat through anybody, which is crazy. All right, so we did take out the first battle of the day. Let's look at this right here. This is actually an interesting team. I haven't fought too many Edwards recently because I've had King Bradley in the videos, so why don't we give this a shot? I'm pretty sure that Edward has very high slash resistance. Yeah, so 68% slash resist and a whopping 40 defense, so he's going to be very strong. Plus, we are weak to strike, so I'm not really sure how this battle will go down, but I've been fighting a lot of Earth teams, and it is very hard to make a comp that, you know, you can definitely make comps that beat them, but I really want to like try different mono light teams. You know, I'm a light main or a light dark main, and it's definitely been tough, but I've been really enjoying kind of this process. And honestly, right now in the game, I think it's like one of the most balanced I've ever seen it in War of the Visions, which is really, really cool. So like really a lot of elements are strong. It just depends on how you build them, and I really think that that's a healthy state for the game overall. Okay, so Sylvie's going to get off the re-raise, Stern's going to get off haste. Here comes Edward, he's going to be running forward, and Warrior of Light's going to get off the shield. And the battle is underway, here we go. Sadali going to heal Edward when he wasn't even under 50% health. He must be on a good sub job for healing. Alright, Edward coming in hot right there. We are going to get the limit break heal. We haven't really done too much damage right here. Alright, there goes Stern. Sadali's coming in. He goes for the hit on Warrior of Light. We are going to get the re-raise removed. So this team is looking really good. Let's be real. This team is very, very strong. I bet this team is just freaking trouncing Earth teams right now. Honestly. Okay, she's going to remove the re-raise again. Here comes Warrior of Light. Hopefully we can take down Edward. Didn't quite get it. Ooh, there goes Sylvie. Kind of making a comeback here. We got to see how this goes right now. Alright, Warrior of Light is going to buff. Sylvie is going to take down Bladesoul. That was actually pretty good. Honestly, I thought that we were going to lose that at first after we lost Wing Sterne. But actually, like, the sustain with Sylvie, along with Warrior of Light, just him being as tanky as he is actually kind of really holding up, which is really nice to see. Alright, so we are 2-0 right now. We are going into our third battle. Okay, this is a Stern / Queen Macherie / Bradley composition. Let's see what else. Let's see if we can find another mono light team. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is always fun. I always like finding other Monolite teams. I always get inspirations from other characters. Okay, so here we have Elena 140, Sylvie 120, and Stern. It does look like this is a pseudo-evasion composition. Let's look at this here. I bet they're running evasion, luck and evasion, okay. Plus he's got the Saga armlet, and he's running the Dark Ifrit evasion card. That is very interesting. We don't really have high accuracy in our builds. Like, let's go check our accuracy right here. It is 90, but I don't think that Sylvie or Warrior of Light will be able to hit them at all. I will be doing a monolite evasion team, like a full one with Stern, Locke, and Elena. So you guys can keep your eyes peeled for that in the future. Let's see what else we got here. Here's another one. This is also another evasion team. This one is, Stern's not even running a weapon here. That is kind of crazy, honestly. Not running a weapon. That is an interesting strategy. Neither is Elena. They must have very high evasion. That is kind of strange, to be honest. You know what? Riddle me curious. I'm gonna go for this team. Like, I'm very, very curious to see how this goes. We don't really have very high evasion, so we might not be able to hit them at all. But I'm just curious how this team is going to function without two weapons on their main DPS characters. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But let's see. It's always a good day to learn something new, right? Okay, there's Elena. Stern's going to get off that re-raise. Okay, so the only way we can win this fight is if our Wing Stern stays alive. He's going to be the only one who even has a chance of hitting them. So hopefully Warrior of Light kind of draws their attention and we can do some damage. Okay, we are going to get the haste, but we only have 76 AP on Stern, so I think that's about 2 to 3 attacks max. Okay, there goes Elena, not hitting too hard. Okay, he is going to remove the re-raise on Sylvie right there. So as you can see, the team... Okay, there goes the heal. Our Sylvie's coming in for her heal right here. Alright, the re-raises are removed. Warrior of Light is going out. They're definitely not hitting very hard. As you guys can see. Alright, so Sylvie's going to go down right here. Our Sylvie's going to run forward. She's going to buff once again. Ooh, Warrior of Light getting that 10.2k heal. Let's go. We are going to get, wow, and the Breath of Life. That was freaking awesome. Stern's going to get the re-raise right here. Sylvie is going to run forward. She is going to be forced to buff. We don't have the accuracy to hit them. I think that if we had an Alexandrite ring on Sylvie or something, we may have a better chance because we're being forced to just buff right now. Everything is going to rely on Stern. We are going to get that unlucky reflex right here. Stern is going to run over. He is going to take out our Stern. We are going to get the re-raise. I don't think we have the AP to do this fight, to be honest. I think we're basically out of AP right here. Okay, their Stern is going to go down, and it looks like Elena is going to take us down. Alright, so we did lose that fight. I think that, but I also don't think that running that team without weapons is a good idea. So although we did lose, if we had even one more character in our team that had like a guaranteed hit or something, it wouldn't have even been close at all. But I was interested to see why they were doing that. I still actually have no idea why you would take the weapons off those characters, but it is what it is. You always you see some interesting things down here in Arena. Alright, so it looks like we have 2 fights left. Maybe I'll do one more against... Yeah, I'll go for this team right here. I'm going to go against Lyle. This is going to be Queen Moncherie, Oberon, and King Bradley here. And then hopefully we'll find one more interesting team to finish off the composition for the day. But if you do have Warrior of Light, if you do have Wing Sterne at 140, and you do have Sylvie, you can put together this team. It is very fun. I think it will basically more or less hold up in most PvP content, except for, as you just saw, against Evasion. And that team that we just saw wasn't even a full Evasion team, so You know, I'm guessing that Stern had like maybe 90 evasion, and then Elena, she probably had like 120 plus. But this team would get absolutely dominated by a full-on fire evasion team or a full monolith evasion team. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Okay, so there's Oberon getting that area attack resistance buff up right there. Oh, the freaking re-razor move is a killer right there. Okay, Stern's going to move forward. MONASTERY is going to go for the hit. Oberon is going to go for the hit. King Bradley is going to get pulled by Warrior of Light, thankfully, who's going to proc his hit right there. King Bradley looking decently tanky still, honestly. We are going to get the lucky stop right there. Okay, and Warrior of Light doing a good job of pulling aggro, but Oberon is not going to get pulled in by him, unfortunately. And it is looking pretty tricky. King Bradley did get the stop. I do run Warrior of Light on, man, especially with the stun right there. That is brutal. Okay, so King Bradley's going to go down. Queen MONASTERY is going to hit Sylvie. She is going to get the re-raise, but it does look like we're not going to get the chance to go, and we are going to lose that second fight right there. So it looks like we are 2-2 right now. So we've lost one fight. No, we've lost 2 fights, we've won 2 fights, and we have 1 fight left for the night. So let's hope that we can win this last fight and end up going 3-2 with this team. We'll just have to see where it is. This character keeps popping up right here, so I am curious how this might go. I think like the one tricky part about this composition is that like Stern can run out of AP, and that is always a tricky thing to deal with. So maybe running bells on him instead of the haste buff might be better. Wow, new day has begun. Alright, so here we are back. The day had turned over, so I had to get back over into the arena. And I've been eyeing this team, this Wing Sterne, Queen MONASTERY, King Bradley team. It does look pretty interesting, so I am going to give it a shot. One thing that I was saying with this build is that I feel like putting bells on Stern might actually be better than the haste TMR. The haste one is good, but the moment Stern kind of runs out of AP, he's like the main damage source for the team. I mean, Sylvie can kind of back up a little bit, but I think not quite enough as what the team overall needs. So we'll see how it goes in this. So we're fighting 3 strong damage dealers in this fight right here. So it's going to be tough. We're going to have to take them out fast. We're like hoping to sustain, but with the map this small, it's hard to keep Warrior of Light kind of separated. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, that is regular MONASTERY and Stern. She's actually really good. Okay, there goes Stern with the haste. Bradley's running forward. We are going to get the reflex right here. Stern is going to get pulled forward by Warrior of Light. And MONASTERY doing her thing with those barriers and that massive buff. It's just like so many buffs. Okay, Sylvie's going to get off that barrier. Stern is going to take down the other Stern right here, so this is looking good. Alright. We are going to get the limit break from Sylvie right here, which is going to open up Stern to hit Bradley. Warrior of Light is going to use his invincibility shield. We are going to get that second reflex there. We are getting some luck in this fight, which makes up for maybe some of our last fights. And we're going to get the disable right there from Wing Sterne. Let's go. Okay, so looking pretty good. Warrior of Light's going to run in. He's going to go for that stop strike. It doesn't hit, even though she does have high faith. Here comes Sylvie from behind with the Cheerful Paladin strike. MONASTERY is going to get the re-raise. She's going to have one shot here. She's going to go for the heal. And Warrior of Light's going to come in, and Stern is going to finish it off. Alright, so that was pretty good. That's kind of a good example of like what happens when everything goes right. We got the reflex, we got the disables. All in all, just a super solid fight. But yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. If you don't get the reflexes, then it's hard to say. And I've talked to some people about, like, you know, does it really count if you do a reflex? And, like, honestly, in my opinion, like, reflex is a part of the game, right? Like, I had a friend of mine suggest that when I do these kind of like showcase battles that like I take off reflex, but I feel like, you know, I feel like the RNG is a part of the game that you're never going to escape from. You know, like it's always going to be there. And I think that it's okay to have that kind of thing in there sometimes. Like sometimes you get the short end of the stick and you get reflexed on and you get hit by those disables, and that's just part of the game, you know. And we do have reaction block rate, which can decrease the amount of that happening, which I think is going to become more and more pertinent as we go on. But overall, I think that the game is pretty fun. I like the aspects of the disables, the slows, the reflexes, the stops. It adds like this kind of unknown factor that I think makes the game pretty fun to me. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this composition today. It's pretty fun. I think I would grade it like an 8 out of 10 composition. So like I would give it an A, but I think not really like an S tier. Like we did go 3 and 2, and I think that more or less this is like this team's win percentage, like somewhere between like the 60 and 70%. But we are in like the top 50 arena right now, so there are a lot of really strong teams out here. So, you know, you are fighting some of the best, so just keep that in mind. But I think that overall, if you can make this team, it will serve you well. You will have a lot of fun. Last piece of advice is just avoid evasion with this unless you are going to change your tact and change something, add accuracy stones, you know, put on Alexandrite rings, etc. All right, well, that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for liking these videos. It does support the channel, for commenting on it. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions as always. And I do want to personally thank everyone who subscribes to the channel. I really appreciate you guys supporting what I love to do. So that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.